News and rumors Leafs. Surprisingly, our journalists have gained access to this valuable information. However, before we go into the details of the news, I make a special request: subscribe to the channel so that we can soon surpass in number of subscribers the Canadians. With your support, we will become the leading news channel. The Toronto Maple Leafs have been remarkably active during this offseason, bringing aboard players such as Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi, Ryan Reeves, John Klingberg, and others through free agency. Nonetheless, can we assert that their work is entirely finished at this point? In fact, there is an intriguing free agent who remains available for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they should approach this consideration with great care. That player is none other than the hockey superstar, Patrick Kane. Kane has undeniably stood as one of the NHL's most prolific offensive players over the past 15 years, consistently maintaining an average of more than 1 point per game throughout his illustrious career. Moment of interruption in the news report to present a notice of importance. We would like to point out that if you wish to continue to be recommended by YouTube to receive the latest news, it is essential that you leave your mark of support by clicking the like button on this video. We express our gratitude in advance. We now return you to the news sequence. Presently, he is in the process of recovering from significant hip surgery performed in June of this year. Remarkably, his recovery is progressing at a swifter pace than anticipated, even raising the possibility of him achieving full health and readiness by the commencement of the NHL season. So, under such circumstances, should the Toronto Maple Leafs contemplate signing the free agent Patrick Kane? Reasons to consider signing Kane. Patrick Kane, a three-time Stanley Cup champion and former recipient of the Conn Smythe Trophy, undoubtedly possesses the knowledge and experience necessary to achieve victory. With his extensive 17-year career in the league, encompassing over 140 playoff games, Kane can provide invaluable leadership to the Leafs and guide them in the path to success. Furthermore, Kane is widely regarded as one of the finest American hockey players of his generation, while Auston Matthews represents the pinnacle of the current generation. The prospect of uniting these generational talents from different eras on the same team is a tantalizing prospect, one that would captivate the imagination of many. In addition, considering Kane's recent major surgery and a somewhat subpar performance in the 2022-23 season, the Leafs might be able to secure his services at a considerable discount, thereby facilitating his inclusion within their salary cap constraints, which still require some adjustments prior to the season start. Lastly, Kane would likely be motivated to perform at his utmost best to demonstrate that he still possesses ample skill and determination. This could potentially pave the way for a final, longer-term contract leading up to his retirement. Reasons to be cautious about signing Kane. However, at the same time, there are some red flags to be cautious about. First of all, coming off major surgery, it remains uncertain to what extent Kane can regain his prior dominant form. Secondly, his performance appeared to be on a downward trajectory in the past season. Whether this decline was attributable to the hip issue that plagued him throughout the year or the effects of age, as he approaches 35 this coming November, is a subject of debate. Thirdly, given that right wing is Kane's primary playing position, the Leafs already have both Mitch Marner and William Nylander occupying those positions on the top two lines. Consequently, adding Kane would necessitate Kane playing on his non-dominant side, Marner or Nylander adapting to their off-wing, or Kane potentially being relegated to the third line. In any of these scenarios, players might not be operating at their optimal strengths, which could impact their overall effectiveness and production. Finally, introducing Kane to the Leafs roster could potentially deny a roster spot to one of the younger players such as Nick Robertson, Matthew Knies, Pontus Holmberg, and others who are vying for an opportunity. Given that the current NHL game heavily relies on speed, this trade-off could potentially have a substantial impact on the Leafs as the season progresses. If the Leafs can fit Kane into a short-term, one-year contract for less than $1 million, it might be a worthwhile gamble to incorporate him into the group. After all, the core quartet of Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and John Tavares, which has remained intact for the past 5 years, has yet to achieve significant playoff success. Therefore, the injection of one of the game's elite talents could potentially elevate the entire team to the next level. However, if Kane is seeking a multi-year and/or high-value contract, the Toronto Maple Leafs should exercise caution and refrain from pursuing the superstar, lest their cap-related challenges worsen. Nevertheless, the prospect of adding a player of Kane's caliber is always worthy of contemplation. What's up, fans? How are you interpreting this news? Do you feel in agreement, or do you have a dissenting perspective? Leave your analysis in the comments area. This feedback is of great importance for our beloved team to understand your opinion. Stay tuned, as I will be back with more information at any moment.